Welcome, folks. We are just getting started. We are going to be doing Dennis and Peggy Kowalczyk story, part 4, body cam footage, evidence and analysis. And we're going to begin our 5-minute countdown, and then we're going to play the promo before we start after that, and then we will begin. Don't forget to follow us on Rumble, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Telegram, as well as Facebook. All of the links are to our other social media are in the description. Thank you very much. We appreciate your humble patronage, even though it's free. The views expressed on the show are expressly the views of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views, beliefs, or opinions of News for Us World, its hosts, broadcasts, or broadcasters or affiliates. Remember, folks, always use your own discernment when viewing. We encourage our viewers to think for themselves. Welcome, folks. We are here with part 4 of the Dennis and Peggy Kowalczyk story, and we are going to be covering the body cam footage today for you guys. And so let's begin by me sharing my screen and us playing the promo, and then we will segue out from there and begin. Sorry about that. I forgot I was sharing my screen. We're going to start over.
I think what it is since Dylan is making those whatever accusations or claims, which I know are false, the Florida judge is saying, well, we're not going to release him until Waukesha or Outagamie County does an investigation.
Okay.
So it's just going to be, it's just a formality.
Has Dawn ever expressed concerns with Dylan or behaviors or triggers or anything like that?
Just at the time Dylan said he thought he saw Joanne, he would then just sit outside and watch every car that came by. No behavioral issues in the home at all. But then he sometimes would question himself, like, would I go with her? But he would come back. Like, it kind of seemed like he questioned himself for what he would do in the moment.
Yeah. But he has questioned if he would go with them or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And he always talks about, too, when he turns 18, he wants to find them or do college with them.
Okay.
In Waukesha.
Has that been something consistently he said, like when I turn 18, I'm going to find them?
He's been talking about that for a while.
Okay. Are those alarms pretty loud, typically?
I believe so, yes.
So then instead of getting out because the alarm will trigger him, he urinates or, like, defecates in his bedroom. And like feels he has to do that, so that's why I asked a question like that.
Yeah, and know that was happening, but the Davies tell him, like, go to the bathroom, like, set the alarm off, it does not matter.
So he was like going to the bathroom in his bedroom?
I believe is that in the beginning, I believe that was happening.
They didn't take him because we abused them, that's what they say in court. But it didn't happen, and I can prove every bit of it. They took him from us and said we were his legal parents. That means Shands Hospital in Gainesville gave us a baby, okay, that we weren't supposed to have. That means they were accessory to that, right? In DCF in Gainesville, they were an accessory to that too, right? Because they did a home study before they placed them.
Because, ma'am, we have to do something called profiles. I have to find out what Dylan likes.
Said you would help us when we come back here and...
Ma'am, but you won't...
I just want my husband, please, gosh.
But ma'am, he's doing it. The best way to do this is to do the way we're doing it.
No, I don't want to anymore.
I talked to his foster, his social workers, the police, the lawyer. They all say that you know where Dylan is right now.
Yeah, because they're all liars.
It was in March is when they had driven to the house and kid tried to get him to come into the car or to speak with him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he said it looked like just his mom, and she was wearing a baseball cap.
Okay. Well, I will definitely give them a call and see if they know anything or go from there. But if you get any... Oh, go ahead.
His fake parents?
His what?
You mean his fake parents? Give them a call?
All right. So first, Dennis, why don't you while I bring up the document you wanted to show first, the Walton County Sheriff's police report, right? And then we'll segue into that video. Correct, was what we're going to do. So explain for our viewers a little bit of background on this document right here. Unmute yourself first.
So this is from the Walton County Sheriff's Department. When we supposedly abducted our son in October of 2020, they took my son into custody in Walton County, Florida. We resided at the Navy base in Gulfport, Mississippi, my husband and I, Dennis, but our family lived just over the border in Florida. So, you know, we were traveling back and forth. They put my son and my mom in a hotel up there in Florida. And we went into, at the request of NCIS, the Naval Police, they had asked us to come in to question us about our son being missing. So it was really, really late. So we put my son and mom in a hotel. And anyway, this is the form that they concocted when they supposedly took my son into custody as a right.
So why is the date here relevant to what we're about to see in this next video by NCIS?
Tape. The date and time is wrong on the NCIS tape.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so the NCIS investigation that we're about to watch, it was the same day that this form was when my son was taken into custody for being a runaway.
What was the actual day? Was it the 13th or was it actually on the 9th?
It was the 9th.
On the 9th.
Okay. Okay. So they basically doctored the time codes then.
Yes.
Correct.
My son left Wisconsin on the 6th of October. And the reason I know everything so well is my birthday is the 4th. So my son left Wisconsin on the 6th of the 6th of October, and he arrived down here in Mississippi, Florida, around the 8th. And then the next day is when they took him into custody on the 9th. And the interview of me sitting at that table, NCIS, that was supposed to be a voluntary interview with the Navy police on my son not being missing. But it ended up being more of an interrogation.
I want to go back just a little bit to give our viewers some context. Go back to March of that year. And where were you? Because we're going to watch the first video we're going to watch is relevant to that time frame when they're trying to say that your son had seen you in this net.
Right, we're going to see a document as well that claims that they arrested me for the attempted abduction of my son in March of 2020, which I did not even hear about until, it's funny, April of 2021 when they actually officially charged us with abduction of our son.
You were in the hospital at this time?
I wasn't in the hospital. On the very day they claimed, they said around and about the 23rd of March that they supposedly abducted him. But I had, as I had told in the videos before, I had rectal cancer. So I went through almost 2 years of treatment with chemotherapy and radiation. And I had an 18-hour surgery to remove a tumor in March, in the beginning of March, into February.
Okay.
Well, during that date that they said, around March 23rd, she had a MRSA infection.
Which
so
was
bad
what I was
that-
about to get around to. During my surgery, during my 18-hour surgery, I somehow contracted MRSA during my surgery. I also had complications during my surgery, where I almost bled to death. I had life-threatening complications for 3 days where they fought for my life and gave me blood. They gave me MRSA. They also sent me home before they realized they had given me MRSA. And I sit with it for nearly 2 months.
She had an abscess the size of a softball on her pelvis.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I had healthcare nurses come by to my house every day between that time as well.
So there's no way you could have been, you could have even been in any condition to take a car and go drive over there and pass
Well,
out.
I don't
Definitely
believe there's a
not
doctor
2
that would
hours.
testify that I would have been humanly capable of doing
Right.
that during that time.
Okay.
Sit on my hind end and drive for 5
Okay, so
seconds, much less.
We're going to play
3
the
hours.
the custody video, which shows the Davies family and they're around that March time frame. So so that's why I wanted you to tell our viewers, because this is important, folks. We're gonna point out some inconsistencies with the footage and the documents that
Right, we should
everybody should
explain
be
who the
asking
Davies
questions
are.
about.
The Davies are Dylan's foster parents. Dawn and Todd Davies of Appleton, Wisconsin, are his foster parents that he accused of abusing him mentally, mostly, we, maybe physically, we don't know. We
Right.
don't know the whole story.
That's what you were trying to get help for at NCIS, right? Is to get their help to help you rescue
Right.
help you rescue him from that situation.
Right,
He was
but previously he was physically abused in the foster
Okay.
before. So, obviously these people were not trustworthy with our
Right.
child. They haven't
And,
been in the past.
and you have every right to be worried, because I would be too. Let's play
Right,
this first
absolutely.
clip, because this will just show what the kind of people these are, folks.
Right. This is the attempted abduction. This is an investigation.
On earlier.
Forgot to share my sound. Sorry, folks. It's
Hi,
me now.
Todd. Hey, how you doing, sir? Are you Todd?
Yes.
I'm Officer Zeman. We spoke on the phone earlier. That's my partner barking in the back there.
Yeah. Well, my little partners are right here.
I don't want to take too much of your time this evening.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know that after speaking with Dawn and then talking to Dylan on the phone. Hi, are you Dawn?
I am.
I'm Officer Zeman. We've been speaking quite a bit this afternoon. I just wanted to come by and let you guys know personally that we have verified that those Peggy and Dennis are in Waukesha right now.
Okay.
At least their vehicle is there. It's going to be monitored by Waukesha periodically. Right now, this is highly unusual. Waukesha is very concerned about this. DHS there is very concerned.
They are.
And they've filled me in on this insanely bizarre backstory.
Oh man, get a headache from it.
Oh yeah, every day it says.
Real quick, I want everybody to pay attention to the date up here. It says March 24th, 2020, folks.
We've had them over here. It's going
This is unbelievable. Like I've been a cop almost 10 years and never have I worked a juvenile case that is this convoluted.
Well, yeah, they even called the cops, called you guys on us saying.
Right. Yeah, I saw that report as well. But
Yeah, bring it. Come on in.
the fact that they don't even know like how this really happened in the first place is extremely bizarre. But there's lack of records.
We got the contact.
We out at WIM 1721 1721.
He said that Kyle mom was court ordered to either give up kids, give them away, because she wasn't fit to have any.
Sure. Which is what
I think is they handed
which is what Racine was also told by the biological mother. However, there's no court document to support that.
Right.
Which is bizarre. There should be an order against her that reflects that, and apparently there's not. So this is extremely bizarre.
Welcome to our
Today's word is bizarre.
Bizarre. Yes. And I want everybody to notice, did you hear what he said? He said, you know, if that's the case, then there should be a record of that, referring to the Russian, what was falsely, what they falsely tried to persecute Peggy for doing that. She did not do, which is why they couldn't prove it. So there was no record of that on file because it's a bullshit chart, a bullshit claim. But it's being used as a bludgeon, folks. But he said it with his own words. You heard it, folks. We're going to continue.
Yeah. Because of that, I've conferred with the Outagamie County District Attorney's Office. They have also become as concerned as well. I tried to push through a more substantial felony stalking charge, but statutorily we don't quite make it. However, they do believe that Dylan is a credible witness based on my interaction with him on the phone. I feel like he's capable of testifying in a court that he could say, yeah, I know who that is and I saw her. We verified some other information that he was also able to provide along with your statements. We are going to issue an immediate warrant for Peggy's arrest based on the violation of the injunction. Now, technically it's only a misdemeanor. However, based on the circumstances of the case, Outagamie is going to push it kind of to the top of the priority list, I hope. And as part of their injunction and reviewing that paperwork, the section in penalties specifically refers to the fact that if violated, they could be subject to immediate GPS monitoring. Now, technically this won't apply to Dennis because Peggy is the one that we're seeking the arrest for based on the...
and we don't know if Dennis was in there.
We don't know if Dennis was in there, and Dylan himself said he didn't see him. So, with that being said though, at the conclusion of this case, ideally leading to a conviction of the violation of restraining order, which is very easy to prove based on Dylan's statement, that will make her subject to GPS monitoring. I know it doesn't do a whole lot about restricting her movement, but we're trying to give you guys some peace of mind to say that at any time
I just want everybody to point out what they're doing here. They know that's fishy, that there's no record of it, but why are they still pushing it like it's fact? It doesn't make any sense to me. So either they're complicit or they don't care, or they've been told to look the other way. One of thowose three folks.
Waukesha and the state can pull up their monitoring center and say, yep, here she is in violation of this again, or that wasn't her, she's been in compliance.
But see, I looked it up because I typed it in my report. I looked back on my phone, I called you guys it happened about 3 o'clock, so I called about 3:11.
Yeah.
So that's plenty of time for her to get back.
Oh yeah, they absolutely got back, you know, between the time that we were trying to figure out the paperwork and then get Waukesha there. You know, there's always a lag.
Because I went right to the corner there and there was a band sitting right there. And I stood there. And then it just slowly backed up, real slow, backed up, and then just kind of...
I have no doubt that it was them. Waukesha has no doubt that it was them.
Yep.
And basically, as long as Dylan is still willing at some point to appear and say, swear an oath and say, yep, that was her, that alone puts her in violation of the injunction. So that will subject her to GPS monitoring, so at least in the future, we'll know where she is.
Okay, do you hear how they're doing this, folks? They're acting as if she's already guilty without even having heard her side of the story or any of it. So they're clearly colluding. The police are supposed to be objective when doing an investigation. They're not supposed to freaking pick and choose like that. They're supposed to, why wouldn't he be alarmed that there's no record of it? He should be, and he should be looking into it, not freaking colluding to smear this woman and make false allegations which are not even real or even based in any ground scientific fact.
I think the audience should know that these are tapes that are going to be used in my wife's trial and discovery.
And that's why it's important we point out the context and how there are inconsistencies with the documents, because we're going to disprove their whole freaking narrative, folks, right here live on the air. Let's continue.
Amen.
This case is so bizarre.
Tell me.
His worker, I guess,
why they're not in prison because of taking kids
Yeah, it sounds like Waukesha is still working on that. I mean, this is...
His worker said she's got spreadsheets. this long.
I have
Just trying to
never,
get-
and granted, I am not a school resource officer. My understanding is you have worked with Officer Anderson in the past.
Yep.
Truthfully, if he was still working here, I would have just passed this off to him. But he has since taken a job with state DCI. He's a special agent for the state now. He literally just left like a week ago. So I can't, and all our other SROs, because
Or
school is closed, and
Rosali.
ordered back to patrol. Yeah, so.
Or Rossetti.
What you've got is a canine handler trying to make the best of this, putting blocks together, but I think I've got it squared away that we can get a GPS monitoring in the future. So just be aware that you may receive some correspondence or a phone call in short order from the district attorney's office. Now, with all of this viral stuff going on, I don't
want to go to court.
Yeah, you won't. There won't be any jury trials for the foreseeable future. So I don't know how this will all play out.
Right.
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Well, I told him today because he went to Green Bay with me, and I said, you're not going anywhere alone, you know.
Yeah, I would,
even outside.
I would be very prudent with him, and we don't want to freak him out. But the whole thing has a very culty, really bizarre read to it. That just Waukesha DHS explaining this to me like made me uncomfortable, like driving in my car.
Usually
So
the first time I visit a court, he goes and sits on Joanne's lap. The judge.
I want to point out something, folks. If you have a system that's already has a conflict of interest in in keeping kids in the system, and because they're making money doing it, and they're incentivized to keep doing it, they're not going to keep in mind. He said DCF when he was hearing from DCF. Well, of course he's going to hear from DCF because they're the ones perpetrating this crime, and they're the ones that are lying and keeping the narrative going, because they're trying to get this money, keep these kids in the system, folks. That's what you need to understand. That's your motive right there. 1, 2, it's clear as day to me what they're doing. It's a side-handed way of them colluding to take someone's kids unlawfully and unjustly, mind you. And keep in mind, the kids are the ones that are suffering, folks. You think these people care about kids? Fuck no, they don't. They care about money.
And it all starts with the defamation of parents.
Yep.
Well, and let me mention another thing. Dylan was 16 years old at that time. How come he's not out there talking to the police officer with the foster parents about this incident?
Exactly. She told him to go back to the living room. Why weren't they
I wanted to
interviewing
put
him?
that out. She
Why weren't they talking to him?
Sit down. Did anybody, did it appear like my son was scared of his mom coming to kill him? That's what this woman is
He
trying
looked more
to tell
scared of
the police
them.
officer next coming up.
He looked more scared of them.
Well, next you'll hear, if you listen real close, she's telling this police officer that my son told her I put a gun to my husband's head.
What?
Oh my God. No way did he ever say that.
By doing that,
She's just lying out her ass then.
by doing that, they put us in danger.
They did. Yep.
Because we are looked at as violent perpetrators.
Yeah,
Which is
I mean,
their whole focus and goal in this whole
that's
thing.
they want that, because then it makes it easier for them to justify going after you.
So they pull us over, they're gonna think about shooting first and worrying about everything later.
All right, we got a little bit more footage to go, about 3 minutes, 20 seconds. We'll finish this clip up and then we'll segue into the NCIS footage.
It's weird. I mean, it's like they're explaining it to me, and I'm
No
like,
audience.
what?
So the stage.
yeah, it's kind of one of those looks like a duck, talks like a duck. I think we all know what it is, but legally we were just trying to figure it out yet. So
No, it goes on and on.
it's a worm. It sounds like it's a wormhole. I don't want to get all the way down to. I'm glad DHS is doing their thing. So if you see anything, suspect anything, even if at 1 o'clock this morning there's a loud noise outside or whatever, just give us a call. 911 is fine. Our group will be well aware of it. I'm putting an alert to the department that stands department-wide. We're actually about to go through a very significant shift change because of the virus. We're going to a new thing where we're going to work 6 days straight and then with 18 days off. But I will make sure, it's bizarre. I will make sure, though, that the oncoming shifts, the patrol platoons that are incoming, get this knowledge, too, so that this area will become a priority for guys to at least to sit in and do paperwork. just to have a marked unit here. So don't be surprised if there are marked cars here
Well,
parked
we were
at night.
playing a game, and it's like, oh, I see lights. It's like,
Ideally, it won't be the 3 canine handlers because he's gonna sit here and bark all night, so I won't do that to you. But don't be surprised if you see marked squads out. It doesn't necessarily mean we're looking for something or someone. We're just probably doing paperwork, getting caught up in this area so that we're here.
Sure, so yeah, show presence.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Dan, stay away.
Well, next.
Well, I told him, I said, Dylan, because he was like, she might have a gun. She had a gun that my dad's had one time. That's like, right. I go, Dylan, who's bigger? You. I go, good. Whose house is this? Yours. I go, good. Here's a bat. Your mom ain't getting in.
Yeah, I mean, if I hear, the big thing is during the day, if we see something, I'll take pictures of it with my cell phone.
Absolutely.
If we have a license plate number on that.
Yep. Absolutely take pictures, be prudent about things, locking your door, stuff like that.
We're trying, yeah.
And don't hesitate to give us a call. You wake up in the middle of the night, you think you hear a trash can tip over, that's fine. Don't waste your time or energy bothering to investigate it yourself. Could be a raccoon, could be someone attempting a kidnapping.
Well, I have a
We will
scanner on
deal
all the
with
time, and it's like,
So just let us
I'm always
know.
texting Ashley.
We get paid to do that kind of stuff.
Well, if somebody tried to get in here, my dogs will freaking go berserk, and then they'll wake my ass up. So.
Yeah. So I just wanted to tell you folks personally, it is going to result in some sort of arrest. I'm doing my best with what we have, as I'm sure you've heard.
Yeah.
But it's what I can do. Yeah. So hopefully in the near future we get some GPS.
9121, I'm in the area.
A little bit of
Okay, yeah,
peace of mind.
with the virus, I don't expect any fast things going on because now I'm off work for till whatever, start tomorrow,
Okay, game on. We're going to do it again.
Strange times.
Yeah, something I never thought I'd see in my whole life, my lifetime.
Yeah, we've been doing this
virus.
25 years. When he came, it's like, huh? Yeah, it's like, what?
Yeah, well, bless you folks for doing it because, well, as you've seen, things can get complicated quickly.
Would you explain, Dennis, just real quick for some of our viewers, the context again? What was this video of?
This video was the night of the day that they claimed my wife attempted to abduct our son. This was the night after.
This is all because they claim I rode by the house now, y'all.
And you were in no physical condition at that time, were you?
I would encourage anybody to look up my record. The only thing on my record is what they put there, an abduction. Okay. And listen to those people act like I am just the most horrible criminal in the world.
Steve, I want to point something out quick.
She was recovering from surgery at that time, folks. That's basically what you need to know.
It was just a robot at any point. Had I even done that like they said I did, oh my God, they act like I was going to come murder them. And I know definitely my son did not tell her that. Number one. Number two, there's nothing, this is what these people have done the whole time. They made us out of criminals. I will encourage anybody to look mine or my husband's better.
They've got no previous criminal record, folks.
They're
being
clean
targeted.
Criminal record, not even a speeding ticket.
All right.
Now, I think my husband has a couple, but I don't.
Well, that's nothing compared to what these bastards are doing.
Jesus,
Yeah. Let's go into the NCIS video. Go ahead.
Real quick, look up at the top. They said it was 3/23 that this occurred.
3/24 actually says March 24th.
Yes,
on the
but
paper,
in all the
it
paperwork,
says 3/23.
Oh, really? Interesting. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna look at that then. All right. So this next footage is relevant to the document we showed you earlier, folks. Now this is the NCIS interrogation footage. And the date on here says, I want everybody to look very closely at the date. It says October 13th, 2020. Okay. When did this actually occur, Peggy?
On the 9th.
Okay.
As you know, you can see on the document that he showed earlier when they made a report that they arrested my son Dylan for a runaway. It is dated correctly. It was on 10/9 when they took him into custody. Well, this was early morning at about 4 in the morning.
Yeah, between
the 9th.
Okay.
I
But
was
they
at-
but they, on the
look at the
footage they gave
time.
you guys, it says 10:13. So they obviously doctored the time code.
Right. And the time as well, Steve, it was AM.
Okay.
It was wee hours in the morning and 4 AM in the morning now
Yeah.
of the night.
Well, yeah, you guys looked like you just came in from freaking being
We
woke up.
did. We did. We were on our way. We were traveling to take Dylan to get him help over in his hometown where he was born in Gainesville, you know, to get somebody to help us.
Right, and you were coming to these guys because you thought they were going to help you figure out what was going on with your son and get him
when
out of
they
that.
called us and asked us, did we know where Dylan was? Because obviously our younger son is still in the system and they knew where we lived and they know how to contact. So they contacted the Navy base and told them our son, they believed that we adopted our son, right?
Okay.
So it was NCIS's job to contact us to find out if we knew anything, and they had at this point. And so we agreed to come in, but we were out of town when they called. We were in Florida.
Okay.
So we agreed to come back, but shoot, time we traveled all the way back. It was like 6 hours. And we stopped and put my son and my mom in a hotel because, you know, he needed to be in bed, and so did my mom. She had health problems.
Okay.
So we chose to go to this interview that was supposed to be voluntary to question us about our son.
They basically tricked you guys.
Basically, they were saying, you know, I mean, obviously from their actions,
So
they knew we had them.
what I want to point out for our viewers specifically is, what if they had nothing to hide? If they were complicit, if they were not breaking the law themselves, why did they change the time codes, folks? Ask yourself that question.
Yeah, I can
And
prove those time codes are not accurate by the paperwork.
Stephen, you mentioned that you could tell too.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna point out something for our viewers. Like for those of you that have seen our coverage on the Mar-a-Lago raid a few months back, we pointed out the inconsistencies with the doctored evidence by the FBI with the how it shows evidence of photo manipulation, and there's little ways you can tell, like little artifacts. And if you look closely around these time codes, it looks like they cut. You know, it's definitely looks like it has evidence of artifacts, which is due to photo manipulation, and we can actually go in and prove that. Well, I think what we'll do is I'm going to go in and do an analysis on that, and show people the different how we can tell that, like I did with the other one. I think we'll do a part 2 on this. I want to really cover that and show folks what I'm talking about. I think that'd be good. What do you guys think?
Sounds
on
good.
the next show? All right, cool. Let's continue watching the footage. We got about 30 minutes of footage. I cut the parts out where the room was empty. I left the audio, I think, in about after you guys left. I left that part in where the audio where you said right up to where it says like, here, take my phone. I don't care.
I said, knock yourself out.
Yeah, knock yourself out. Yeah.
I had nothing to hide.
All right, here we go. We're gonna watch this.
None of this was planned.
We're gonna watch this, and let me know, you guys, if you need me to pause it, let me know, and then then you guys can give it context. Okay.
Right.
What's up?
You said my husband was in here.
Oh no, he's in the other room. I'm sorry?
Why?
Because it's 2 interviews. When law enforcement interviews people, we just talk to them separate. Yeah. All right, man. So to start off, it's just a bio sheet. These are your license.
And just show you who I am, going to make the NCIS.
I've already heard that, right? He identified himself as NCIS Gainesville agent.
No, NCIS from Gulfport, Mississippi, Naval Base.
Gotcha. Or yeah, I thought it said Gainesville, but I could be wrong on that. But you heard NCIS. I heard that for sure.
Well, today's a medic.
Is my ID okay? I lost my license. That's my license.
Where's the last name from?
I guess it's Czechoslovakian.
25% Czechoslovakian.
Yeah, I think that's Czech. Yeah, it's like it's my husband. I inherited it.
What's your maiden name?
Dennis.
D-E-N-N-I-S?
Correct.
And you married a Dennis?
Yes.
Huh. You should have made him take your name. Your last name. You could have been Dennis squared.
Have you had any news on my son?
So, no man. I've spent the last 24 hours of my life, that's all I've been working, so that's why I'm very appreciative of you coming in today. So we can just figure out.
There's not really what else I can tell you. I mean, you questioned me to the hill. Got pulled over. My husband's health's not doing well. He's upset. His Parkinson's playing in. I mean, we just spent the ringer.
I understand.
There's no one else I can tell you.
I know, but ma'am, I haven't had a chance to speak to you. This is the first time I've had a chance.
No, we spoke on the phone.
We did, but I wouldn't consider that an interview because your service.
Oh, I heard you. I thought it was just asking questions about, do we know where our son was?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's an interview. That's what an interview is questions.
Okay, well, we already told you we didn't know, and I told you everywhere I was today a few times. I mean, I'm just doing what I can do for you here.
I know. But I wouldn't bring you here because my only goal in this whole entire endeavor is to find Dylan.
Absolutely.
So if I didn't, the last thing I can afford right now when someone's missing is to waste time. So if I didn't find this necessary, I promise you I wouldn't bring you in. Because this is what I do, ma'am.
What color's your eyes, man?
Sorry?
What color's your eyes?
A blue.
Natural hair color?
I guess brown.
What's your social?
Apologize, I've been sick, but I can barely talk.
Alright. And we already got your. What's your phone number? You already have everything on the vehicle?
Yes.
I think we're good, brother. Yeah. All right, thank you, man.
Alright, man, so I'm just, like I said, I'm going to ask you some questions. The problem is, as you know, Dylan, he lives in Wisconsin, correct? Okay? And we're in Mississippi, alright? So I want to just talk to you so I can get an idea of what's going on with him. From what I understand, you adopted him when he was very young?
Well, it wasn't like that. We believed for all of his life my husband was his father. He's 50, he's 17 now. He was 15 when they took him.
He was 15. Okay.
And that's the only reason they took him. They have no other reason.
Child, they never told you?
God, they told me, but none of it was true.
Okay.
They said I was on drugs. I did test them for them, they were all negative. I've been in cancer treatment for the last year and a half. I gave them all access to my labs. I wasn't on drugs, I had cancer. I have no criminal record. My husband has no criminal record. We have no record with DCF, ever. They just took my kids.
Okay.
We got in an argument, that was it.
Who got into an argument?
Me and my husband.
About the kid?
kids weren't even involved. And my 2 kids were at school, the 2 girls. My baby was there, and my 2 oldest were down getting the 2 youngest off the bus from school. And we got in an argument. We had just relocated from Wisconsin back to my hometown in Florida with 5 kids and a disabled husband. It was a very stressful time period. We lost the house that we were going to move into. Between the move down and fell through. So we had to end up we rented 2 hotels in Dothan. So we could give our children, a decent place to stay until we got another house. DCF come in, we got an argument, they come in and took my kids basically.
And approximately when was this?
It was, it's kind of weird because they made my husband and kids go back to Wisconsin. I don't remember the approximate date that Alabama took my kid and made them go back, but I remember the approximate date that Wisconsin took my kids, which was May the 15th.
May of 2015?
No, I'm sorry, May the 15th of 2019.
2019?
Yes.
So that's when you lost custody of your
Yes.
Okay. Why Wisconsin?
Because we just moved from there and they said we were residents of Wisconsin. She told me that my husband had to take them back and she abandoned me for my kids. They basically did it behind my back. I left because they scared me. She come at me.
Who's this? Is this the social worker you're
Yes.
talking about?
She had like 6 police behind her. She was there when I came back from my mom's. I was helping my mom and my dad.
And where's your mom and dad at?
My dad's in a nursing home in Georgia.
What city? Where are you from?
Blakely.
Great. How do you spell that?
Oh, I'm sorry, where I'm from.
Or just like where your family's at. I'm just trying to, because like you have a bunch of states. I'm just
I do, but my family's recently moved, spread it out a little bit since my dad's been put in a nursing home. I'm around Jackson County area, like Grayfield, Green, Marion area. I have an east Pensacola area. Not Pensacola, but like Destin area. I've never really been over there.
You said Graceville, Destin, where else?
Panama City. I have a sister. And I have a sister who drives a truck. She's on the road.
And so you said your dad went to a home. Where's your mom live?
My mom stays with us, but she's with my brother.
Right now?
Yes.
And where's that at?
I really don't even know. He used to live in Greenwood, but I've been moving to his house yet. We just moved down from Wisconsin, and I don't really.
So where is she now?
She's with my brother.
But wasn't she with you? She was with you guys?
Yeah. She
This
was
morning?
earlier today, yes.
So where'd you drop her off?
The Waffle House in Marion, where we had.
And who'd you drop her off to? Your brother?
Sister brother.
What's his name?
Johnny.
Johnny, what's his last name?
Dennis.
And when he lives in Mariana?
He used to live in that area, yes. I don't know where he lives now.
And what's your mom's name?
Peggy knows.
How old is she?
She's 74.
74, okay. Which Waffle House was it?
Mariana, downtown.
Above I-10 or south of I-10?
No, south.
South of I-10.
It's not the one by the interstate, it's the one in town.
Okay. And who was all at the Waffle House?
Me, my husband, my mom, my sister.
Which sister?
Regina. She just moved with my niece and all them over to that Destin area. I don't know where they live either. I've never been there.
What's Regina's last name?
Walker.
So is mom, Regina, your brother, you and your husband?
Yes.
That's it? Okay. And how long were you, what time did you guys get there?
I don't even really know.
How long were you there approximately?
About an hour.
An hour. Then you turned around and came back here?
No, we drove on a little bit, like you know, like outside Greenwood area rather than the Georgia Alabama line. And then we decided to turn around and come back. And,
Why'd you go to the Georgia Alabama line?
well, I was headed to Wisconsin. Go up through there. So.
Do you guys have contacts in Wisconsin?
We do. We have some friends. I have a niece there.
Can you identify them for me, please?
Samantha. Oh gosh, she just got married.
What was her maiden name?
Booth.
Like B-O-O-T-H-E?
No E.
No E? Okay. You said friends?
Yeah, Joel and Carrie Stewart.
Joel and Carrie Stewart?
Yes, S-E-I-W-A-R-T.
Do you have all their phone numbers?
I do, in my phone.
Okay, we'll go grab that so we can just give them.
You want me to grab it?
Yeah, I'll go grab it. Can you spell Seaford for me one more time?
Stewart.
Yeah, oh, Seaward, I'm sorry.
S-E-I-W-A-R-T.
Okay. And what part of Wisconsin do they live in?
Waukesha, Wisconsin.
What? I'm sorry, what part of Wisconsin?
Waukesha.
Waukesha. Okay.
I have a friend named David Tools, and I don't have this number. Joel's number. I don't think I have it in here.
Okay, what about Samantha's?
My husband's phone just got broken, so he's been having to put some of my contacts in here. Samantha says 262.
What was your husband's previous phone number? It was broken phone.
262-548-8439, I believe.
548.
8439, I believe. I believe I have this number in here at least. Let's see. Make sure, yeah, there it is. 262-458-8439, yes, that's it.
It's 458.
Yep, that. Oh, I said 548, didn't I?
It's 548-8439. That's your husband's old number.
Yes. It's 458. I said it backwards. Sorry.
458-8439.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and do you have David's number? Would your husband have the C words in David's number?
He would have Seaworth's number, but I have David's number too. But it's probably his phone. It was Joel's because he's had it forever. We've known him for like 15, 16 years.
Does Dylan know them?
Yes, very well.
He knows Joel, he knows, and David?
Mm-mm.
Not
He don't know
David.
David.
So he knows the C words?
Yes, he's known him since kindergarten.
Okay. What kind of car do they drive?
Last I seen, she drove a little sports car, and he drove a utility vehicle, like, so, I don't know what kind it was.
Do you know the colors?
Gosh, his was red, maroon, and hers was like gray or light blue.
Anyone else that you're close to still in Wisconsin?
My husband's family's up there, but we haven't spoken forever.
Okay. Who would, is Dylan a trusting person? Would he go with a stranger?
He's a very trusting person.
Okay. But is he, I understand, is he...
Oh, he's very smart.
Is he very smart? Okay. So he would know if a stranger wanted him, he would probably say no?
No, absolutely.
So he wouldn't go with a stranger?
No,
Okay.
I don't believe he would.
You don't,
I mean, I don't know. Things have been happening to him. I just don't understand. But, I mean, I don't know. At this point, I hadn't seen him in a year and a half.
I understand, ma'am. I understand.
But you do know.
Okay. But I just want your knowledge, ma'am. So from what you, like you raised him, so I'm sure you raised him to say strangers.
You don't want to go with a stranger.
Okay.
He's very generous though. I mean,
Okay.
you know, he does like helping people.
Does he have any hobbies?
Yes, he loves his sights. He loves lizards, bugs, birds, animals.
Those animals, okay.
He's autistic. He's high functioning autistic.
Does he have any particular pets that he likes?
He has lizards.
Lizards? Okay.
I don't know if he still has them, but he had them.
He had them when he went to Wisconsin?
Well, he had like two when he went, but he lost one. He had one that he bred, and he kept, I don't know if he still got him. He's probably died now. He's old, I'm sure.
Okay.
But, and then he got one after he got in foster care for one of his business. So,
Okay. So that's his thing. So would he go anywhere without those lizards?
you know, normally, no.
Okay.
Did he?
No, I'm just trying to see if, like, you know, that's the thing. If there's someone.
No, I mean, definitely, I wouldn't think he would go anywhere without his lizards.
Right.
I mean, he's hyper.
Yeah. So if someone says, "Hey, I'm taking you away from your lizards," he'd probably be like, "Whoa."
Right.
I'm not no.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, he's been through a lot in foster care in the last year and a half. I mean, I don't.
I know.
You know, has he changed? Probably.
I'm sure everyone's changed. But like
I can't even talk to him on the phone. They say I'm not even his mom. As a matter of fact, we're not even his parents. We have no interest in him. They didn't take him because we abused him. That's what they say in court. But it didn't happen, and I can prove every bit of it.
I understand, ma'am. I understand.
They
but
took him from us and said we were his legal parents. That means Shands Hospital in Gainesville gave us a baby. Okay, that we weren't supposed to have. That means they were accessory to that, right? In DCF in Gainesville, they were an accessory to that too, right? Because they did a home study before they placed them. I don't understand. I don't understand. You take them and say somebody. But he's been abused so much again. I just want to see my husband, please. I just can't.
We can slow down.
Please. I need to see my husband. Please. I just can't do it anymore.
I know, but
my son has been severely abused in foster care. He's been at 4 different homes. So do I know what he's like now? No, I don't.
Okay.
I absolutely don't. I wish I did. Why aren't we just trying to find him?
because ma'am, we have to do something called profiles. I have to find out what Dylan likes.
And you would help us when we come back here and
Ma'am, but you don't.
I just want my husband, please. Can I just...
But ma'am, he's doing it. The best way to do this is to do the way we're doing
No,
it. I
don't want to anymore.
Okay, but
I don't feel good.
All right, but ma'am,
I just can't do it anymore.
this is for Dylan, though. All right, so.
No, this is not for Dylan.
Yes, it is.
This is not. You're not asking me questions.
Because ma'am, I don't know your son. I don't know him.
I don't know him anymore either.
Okay, then we'll move on. I just want to figure out. I need to find people he knows, people he
I
trusts.
just don't feel well. I want to see my husband.
Okay. Okay.
You know what? I just had surgery not long ago. And I've been real sick and I just don't feel well.
Okay. Can I? So the whole. Okay.
I'm stressed. I haven't had no sleep. We've had such a rough day today.
I understand. When's the last time you saw Dylan?
Oh my God. I just told you it's been a year and a half since I've seen my son.
Okay. When's the last time you were in Wisconsin?
We left there. I don't know anymore.
So it's probably over a year and a half ago?
No. We just left there when we moved here.
When'd you move here?
2 months ago.
Okay, so you were in Wisconsin a few months ago.
Yes, we lived in our same house.
And you haven't seen Dylan since a year and a half?
No. Rather than riding by and seeing them, okay?
So
I don't by his house and see him. I was having surgery. I may not even live. And they wouldn't even let me see him. So I rode by there before we moved down here, but that was it.
And the police arrested you?
No.
No? So ma'am, you have to look at it like that's what we're talking about. So I talked to his foster, his social workers, the police, the lawyer. They all say that you know where Dylan is right now.
Yeah, because they're all liars.
Okay, but so that's great if they are, ma'am.
Of course I do, because, yeah.
Okay, but you have to listen.
All we want to do is locate Dylan, if you know
Well,
where he
I
is,
want to.
and then we'll allow the system to see if we can help him get back to your guys' household or however it
I'm
works.
sick, and this is not helping.
No, so ma'am, so I'm going to be honest with you, okay? They think you know where Dylan is,
Of course
okay?
I do.
Okay, but if you're not understanding the goal here. If I can eliminate you as a suspect or a person of interest, they're gonna look for other people, and that increases our chances of finding Dylan. But right now, they think it's you. So my goal is to just find Dylan. So if I can eliminate you as a suspect or a person of interest, then they can move on to new people. That's a win. That we get one step closer. Because right now, they're focusing all their energy on you. And if I can prove to them that you have nothing
You're never going to prove that to them.
You don't know that.
Well, yeah, I do. I've been dealing with them for almost 3 years. They took my children for no reason.
I work for the federal government. They're local.
Look, I can't take no more. I want to see my husband now. I'm about to.
I just want to point out how laughable. Oh, I work for the federal government. Yeah, that's the last freaking people that I trust right now. Like I literally fucking had a chuckle when I heard that. Like, wow.
Pass out. I'm sick. Please. I can't do this anymore. Please. I just want to be with my husband. I just need to go lay down and think. Please. Where is he? Dennis, where are you?
Just, ma'am, have a seat real quick, please. We're gonna go get him. He's talking to somebody as well. Can you please sit down?
Please.
I don't want you to pass out.
I just want my husband.
We're gonna get you to your husband. But you have to understand, we're looking in the best interest of the other.
Well, why can't we be together?
Because that's not the way it works.
I want my husband, please. I'm sick. I need to go lay down. I just had surgery. I haven't been treated for years. For a year now. I need to go lay down.
So can I can let you, do you mind if can I do an extraction?
I don't have to when you see it. Please.
Do you mind if I go through your phone?
Sure, here, I can help out. Where's my husband?
Okay, so you guys want to speak on that a little bit, just briefly, and then we'll show, and then we'll go into the next footage or body cam footage, right? Maybe show your mugshot.
I just wanted to say, with this video, everybody, obviously it's obvious that I wasn't being honest in the video, that I did know where Dylan was at. And, when these type things happen and you have to do with your children being abused and everybody that we tried to get help from, including all the police stations and the DCF workers and the judges and the courts and, everybody else that we tried to get help from, after 3 long years of your son being physically and mentally abused, I knew these people weren't going to help me either.
Right.
And Dennis and I obviously spoke on what we were going to do when we went in there, and we were going to tell them together, if you let us get our story out, we'll tell you where Dylan is. We knew he was safe. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody to take, for instance, that I'm an honest person. I was doing that to protect my son.
Right, because he was being abused at the hands of the foster family that he's in right now, right?
Obviously, you can see from their behavior, their only interest was to get my son back into custody, not to help him.
Right. Exactly.
So what people don't know is when I was in my car, even though this is a voluntary interview and we reside on this base and we don't have no criminal history, they both pulled their guns and approached the window of my car and asked me to get out and come in.
So they came out you with guns pointed and drawn and everything when you went when you volunteered to come in and talk to them, basically.
Yes.
So they tricked you.
Well, I was tired, so I was going to let Dennis go in and do it. And so I sit in the car. Dennis went in. Well, they took him in right away, and then two of them come out, come and approached my car from behind because it was still dark. It was 3 or 4 in the morning, and they both had their guns drawn on me. Yes.
Okay.
The next show that you're talking about doing, this tape, I should be able to find my interview, so to say.
Okay, cool.
But
we'll have that too. Nice.
But they took like an hour off of my interview, just disappeared.
Okay.
The time and date was wrong on it.
Okay.
And they were using interrogation techniques. They interrogated me for like almost 5 hours straight without medications.
Right. We had our line of thinking was to go in, answer the questions, and then in the morning we'd take my son and we'd go to Gainesville and we'd take care of all this and not have to involve the Navy base. Right.
Right.
We thought it would be simple as that, but no, these guys they kept my husband because, as you see, I left. Well, they locked me out after that.
Okay.
They wouldn't let me back in. They knew I wasn't going to tell them anything. I shut down. Okay. So they kept my disabled husband that needed to take medicines every 3 hours, or he would lose his ability to walk. They kept him for like 6 hours and interrogated him with food, water, his medicines. And then finally they delivered him home. I sit on my front porch and drank coffee and waited, and they brought him home.
Even would you possibly be able to bring up that Fort Walton?
Yes, I can. Let me do
That
that
was
right
the
now.
one we were going to link to this.
Yep. Here we go. I believe this is it right here.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and
if you scroll down a little bit, as you can see, they up near the top, they listed Dylan as a runaway, not an abducted child.
So they're charging us with adoption and charging Dylan with a runaway.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense.
Farther,
wait a second.
For the same crime.
How can you abduct a child who ran away? And how can you charge
and how can a child be a runaway when he was abducted, vice versa? That's because neither one of them happened. It was a mutual agreement. Dylan chose to leave because of the abuse he was enduring, and they told him he was not going to see his parents at 18. They said they were going to institutionalize him at 18, and that they weren't going to help him find us.
He predicted the future because
he's a prisoner. He is a prisoner.
Yes.
I did not know that we took hostages in the United States.
Dylan has been a prisoner of war since DCF took him into custody. He don't have no devices. He can't get on games.
The only stability he had in his life was his parents before all this happened, folks. And that's these people right here.
His whole family was ripped from him. He wasn't allowed to take any personal items.
Yep. As Lori said in her letter to the judge, that she was a witness that, Dylan told all this to her himself. He was actually locked in his room when he come back because he ran away. They sent him back to that home to be traumatized and to be abused and to be retaliated against because he said bad things. He told that judge in Florida they abused him now. They sent him right back to that same home.
Well, the people that did the investigation was the same people he was claiming the abuse from.
Yes.
And as we'll play in a little bit.
Conflict of interest, I'd say.
Todd and
kind of like the fox guarding the hen house.
Todd and Dawn Davies had my son for the 2 years prior to the supposed abduction, and then they had him for the 2 years that he's been back there since the supposed abduction.
Okay. So tell me, where do you want me to stop, Dennis?
Keep going. It'll show where Dylan was arrested on a status offense.
Okay.
As a runaway.
So my son that never had a record in his whole world of being a bad boy, he was not a juvenile delinquent.
Am I close to it?
Nothing.
Got it?
Right
here we go. Here we go.
He was charged with a misdemeanor.
He was put into a boys' school, and he had no record.
Correctional facility.
It was his first offense ever in his whole life, and he didn't even do it.
Wait, look. Oh, interesting. Look at this. Look at this. Continued for narrative. What does that mean? That's interesting.
That means until they finish making their story, Steve.
That's what I know. That's what that means. But they're being really brazen about it, aren't they?
Oh, they don't hide anything. They even say in the video that you know.
Excuse my language, but that's.
They don't hide nothing.
This is exactly a perfect example of what I was talking about. What I was talking about them not hiding shit anymore and right in your face. They're doing this shit.
No, because they're punishing people with jail time, and people are not speaking up, and people
continued for narrative. Wow.
Right. People are not putting this on social media, so they're getting away with it. You know.
Go back up a little bit.
Okay.
Go down. Right where it says October 2020. Defendant was arrested and transported to the Department of Juvenile Justice. He was known as a defendant. He
Oh
was
yeah, look,
arrested
defendant. They
and
arrest him as a defendant.
for the
Oh wow.
And it says that there was a
juvenile
warrant
justice
capias.
system.
If you'll scroll back up, it says warrant capias. See?
Yeah, I see that.
So there was a warrant for his arrest. Yes. So they
Okay.
charged my son for the same crime they're charging us for abduction.
Wow.
Which, you know what? I would rather them charge me than charge my son.
Right.
Because I'm his parent. I didn't make him go. I didn't tell him to go. It was, you know, a discussion that happened, and it happened. We all decided at the same time it was in his best interest to get help for his
Right,
situation.
because he was in a toxic, abusive situation.
Yeah, for way too long, and he was, you know, he was, quite be honest, you know, I should have called an ambulance, Steve. I mean, because he was not in a good condition. My son was in real bad conditions when I ran into him in October, and I made the decision to get him help finally. I mean, you know, I rode by to try to look at my son. I mean, obviously, you know, I don't know any mother who wouldn't, but I didn't break an injunction. The injunction says I can't contact him. I never tried to contact him. I just rode by. That was it.
If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, I believe.
And you were in no condition to roll by at the time that they were claiming you were in that one video. You just recovered from a surgery. You were in no physical condition to go anywhere.
No, there's no doctor in this world that would testify that I could humanly possibly do it around that time.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're gonna show you show you guys the hospital records as well next time on our next broadcast with these guys, so we can show you and blow it out of the water and bring it home.
Well, I want to say something else real quick too, Steve. Even if I had done it at that time, they couldn't have charged me because I didn't break any injunction. I didn't stop. I didn't try to do anything. They never claimed that I tried to make that contact.
And it looks like they're just using that the fact that your son has PTSD from being ripped from his family. Of course, he's gonna freaking see, like, he might see somebody that looks just like you with a baseball cap, and he's just.
Well, it says that in the interview.
You know what I'm saying? It's PTSD related. Obviously, there's no way you could have been there because you were freaking recovering, right?
Well, absolutely.
But they're using that as a bludgeon to go after you
I
guys.
just wanted to point that out.
And they're in fact breaking their own laws.
Right.
At the end of this report, Steve, it says that me and my wife were apprehended in Mississippi, which is completely false.
Okay, so where's that at so we can see that?
That should be. Oh, I thought it was at the end.
But that's not false. We were apprehended in Mississippi, but 3 months later, after they took my son into custody.
So they waited 3 months to
This all
apprehend you then.
happened on the 9th of October. They did not arrest us
If we
until.
were child abductors and we actually kidnapped our.
So they waited 3 months to actually arrest you for that.
Yes.
Yeah,
they
this
should have
happened.
did it on the
This happened
spot.
on the 9th of October. They took Dylan into custody, as you can see, charged him on the 9th. And we did not get arrested until December 7th.
Oh wow.
Well, it's because he was never found in our possession.
See, when Dennis told him where Dylan was, he was with my mom in a hotel room.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you had mentioned that because you guys had put him up there.
Apprehended Dylan, it wasn't even with us.
All right.
It was with my mom.
So let's get into let's find that first real quick.
Hey.
Locate,
yeah.
I just want to mention something.
Oh, right there, Steve. Sorry.
We're apprehended in Gulfport, and Dylan was taken to the Children's Advocacy Center with Child Protective Services. The interest in him was recorded on my issued body-worn camera. Okay.
We were never apprehended.
All right, so let's get into the next. Go ahead, Crystal, real quick before we get into the next part.
All right. In the chat, I had posted a website because there is an article, a case law article. There's some articles about judicial immunity, and it's a specific case on parental rights and duties. And it was really helpful in helping someone defending their rights in their case. And
yeah, I'll put that in the chat. I'll put that in the chat. Yeah.
And if you guys want to check into that, or anybody that wants to learn, it's worth a try.
Awesome.
Yeah, would you put it in the comments as well, Crystal, on the Facebook feed and a couple others?
Can.
All right, thank you. And I'll add it to the description after the show as well. All right. So are we ready to start the next footage? All right, let's start it.
Now, right away in this, you had it on the promo. The police had, like, basically already had their minds made up before they even got there.
Yeah, they had already made up their minds. Like they're acting like, because he says, the guy, listen, if you listen closely, he says, Dylan made these claims, which we know are false. No. How are you gonna freaking? You can't even. No. I'm sorry, you don't do that. It's something he's already made up his mind.
This was an investigation that the Florida judge demanded, and you'll see how big of a circus it was.
Yep.
Hi there. You Peggy?
No, I'm Dawn.
No. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm the foster parent.
I'm Derek Donoski.
Hi.
I'm the one you've been talking to.
Did he just mistake her for Peggy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
He does it 2 or 3 times.
Wow. That says a lot.
Hey.
That says a lot about what they're doing, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It does.
That really shows intent when they were showing clearly that they don't even know who's who.
You know what I think, Steve? I think that was very bizarre.
It was. Holy crap.
So they're not releasing Dylan until Outagamie County CPS does an interview with you guys.
Okay.
For Waukesha. So Outagamie County CPS is going to be meeting me here at like 10 o'clock for a couple minutes.
Oh, great.
I know. And
I have meetings.
Oh, dude, really?
I have a Zoom.
Oh, okay.
And then another Waukesha County workers coming at 10:45, I think.
Oh, they're coming here?
Yeah, one of them are.
Oh,
yeah.
cool. Okay.
Because I have 2 kids from Waukesha.
Yeah. Okay.
But I can just buzz in there and say, Amanda, can you take over this meeting? This kid is good.
Yeah.
And then I can do the CPS thing.
Yeah. And I think what it is since Dylan is making those whatever accusations or claims, which I know are false, the Florida judge is saying, well, we're not going to release him until Waukesha or Outagamie County does an investigation.
Okay.
So it's just going to be, it's just a formality. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah,
it is crazy.
It's
ridiculous. This is a claim by a child.
So then I'm assuming that what will happen is the caseworker for Outagamie will meet with the Waukesha people and say, yeah, we're like everything's good, and then it's just a matter of getting that information back to Florida.
Okay.
Which is crazy. It's just crazy.
Go ahead, Dennis. What were you saying?
I was saying that this is a child who's claiming that he's being physically and emotionally and mentally abused.
And how the hell does that police officer know what Dylan is saying is true or not? That's what I would love to know.
Well, that's what they're supposed to do an investigation for.
Well,
but they've already made up their minds about where their position is without even looking into the facts.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Do we need to go ahead anywhere, or can we just continue from here, or what?
Continue.
Huh? Continue?
Go ahead, continue. This is a really important
It is.
Okay.
This whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I feel bad for the kid.
Yeah, I do too.
He's brainwashed already. I know it.
Yeah. Now, what do they do when he turns 18?
Then he is free to go. He's actually has another year of school.
Yeah.
So we had him to the point that, yeah, I'm going to stay here until I graduate, and then I'm going to go find my parents.
Yeah.
I said that would be a great plan.
Yeah.
I would love you to graduate.
Yeah.
So we don't know how he's been talking to them, or.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they snuck him a tablet into shelter care down there. It's like, are you kidding me?
They snuck a tablet into shelter
When he
care?
got picked up, I guess.
In Florida?
Yep.
Really?
They retrieved it, and then they called Kimberly.
Our son had it when he left the hotel. They claimed
That was his iPad. When he was
Yeah.
in the hotel with my mom and the police took him, he had the iPad with him. And she
Oh,
tried
okay.
to claim we snuck in the
Oh,
dang boys'
wow.
school. Now,
Wow.
how in the hell are we going to sneak in
Juvenile detention
a
center.
juvenile detention center and give our son an iPad? Are you kidding me?
No, that's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. But I see what she used. Okay, so there we go, folks. You have a little bit of context on that.
Have a little common sense.
And common sense too, yeah. Obviously, it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't add up. So she's totally like smearing or just twisting the truth to suit her agenda.
This woman's a liar. She does more than just
You
twist
know,
the truth.
you know. I can't wait. I'm gonna make a comparison.
liar.
I'm gonna make a comparison live on the air that we all talked about on the Zoom meetings before. She reminds us of Miss Chokey from Matilda. So we're gonna refer to her as Miss Chokey in the rest of this coverage, just for reference, folks. In case anybody's wondering.
You can fast forward until you see them at the table.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Do you remember? I actually had that clip, all that relevance footage in like a 4-minute segment. If you want me to just go to that, and then we can come back to this.
Works.
All right. Cool.
And she told me.
Has Dawn ever expressed concerns with Dylan or behaviors or triggers or anything like that?
Just at the time Dylan said he thought he saw Joanne, he would then just sit outside and watch every car that came by. No behavioral issues in the home at all.
So it sounds besides this time, whenever Joanne had approached him, he told Dawn about it, or he'd say, hey, my mom's outside, or hey, I thought I saw my mom.
And he would always tell us to, if he would see her again, he would run back in the house. But then he sometimes would question himself, like, would I go with her? But he would come back. Like, it kind of seemed like he questioned himself too, what he would do in the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the times he said he supposedly saw her, he always came back running and told the babies.
Okay. But he has questioned if he would go with them or not.
Okay. And he always talks about too when he turns 18, he wants to find them or do college with them.
Okay.
In Waukesha at that time.
Okay. Has that been something consistently he said, like when I turn 18, I'm going to find them?
He's been talking about that for a while.
Okay. Do the foster parents use like alarms or anything like that on his door?
Yeah, they have alarms on all the doors.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that they have to stay in there just for at nighttime. They know if anybody got out.
Okay. Are those alarms pretty loud typically?
I believe so, yes.
Have you ever witnessed Dylan's response when it goes off?
I've never been here when it happened. I think it's usually at nighttime. Bedtime is when they put them on.
Okay. One of the allegations is the alarms on the door, and when they sound, it triggers him.
Okay.
So then instead of like getting himself out, it's good to know he has a roommate actually. So then instead of getting out because the alarm will trigger him, he urinates or like defecates in his bedroom. And like feels he has to do that. So that's why I asked a question like that.
Yeah, and know that was happening, but the babies tell him like go to the bathroom, like set the alarm off. It does not matter.
So he was like going to the bathroom in his bedroom.
I believe is that in the beginning. I believe that was happening.
So like when he first moved here, you mean?
When I first started. It's like when I heard about that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then babies always said like, just go to the bathroom. Like, if you set them off, it's not a big deal.
Okay. So it was more like he was worried to set off the alarm?
I think so, like waking people up.
Okay.
Stephen, can you pause this?
Yeah.
I wanted to say
Go ahead.
that this clip, the one they said that he had no behaviors, he was fine in this house. But during that time period, he was hospitalized for mental health twice.
Okay.
They describe him, which we'll see in a few, when she first asked the social worker about the alarms and stuff, the social worker denied it. And she said Dylan brought it up. Then the social worker caved in and admitted to it, but then she said that she caught the very end of it.
Okay.
Maybe you should play the whole clip and just fast forward through what we already seen, Steve, because there's some important parts in there.
No, I know. This is I got 48 seconds left on this one. Then we're going to go back to the full length one and we'll go from there.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. I guess in the future, I would like to see, or maybe you, I don't know if we'll be involved that long, how he does react with those alarms, and if that truly is a thing for him. And he feels, you know, not so much that he's being trapped in there on purpose, but if those are triggering to him.
Okay.
The noise. They really brought up with his autism that noise, that piercing noise was really triggering for him.
Okay.
Again, no idea if that's true, or they're just spitting that out, but it'd be something to follow up on, even if he was urinating and not wanting to set those alarms off.
Yes, yep. I'm gonna write a note just so I can put that in my notes.
So I want to just say they're shadow banning Crystal. They're not letting her. They're restricting her account for 24 hours on Facebook because they don't like. You know, they're trying. They're just a common example of what we go through every day in every broadcast, folks. But guess what? We're going to keep on trucking.
Well,
Stop this slow information. They're not going to stop it. They can't stop it.
Well, no, I was just threatened. If that sounds familiar, that hasn't happened in a very long time. But I was just threatened on top of a restriction.
Wait, threatened, but explain.
I got a direct message from someone in response to sharing out Joanne Peggy's story. They're like, "You effing bitch," and they
really. Well, I wonder who that could be.
I replied back with the love. They're creating a fake profile or something, and they're like, "Don't ever be saying that," and then I blocked them.
I wonder who that could be.
It's probably the foster parents.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Are they Hispanic in any way?
Nope.
Okay, well then I'll have to send you the screenshot. I'll send it to you.
Interesting. Weird.
You said something about Facebook?
Yes.
Facebook restrict her ability to share for 24 hours.
Just for making comments.
Supposedly. They do it to me all the time.
I'm not posting anything inappropriate. I'm just speaking the truth and helping you share it.
All right. Do you want to start about right?
That's a good place to start.
Right about here?
Yeah, Dawn Davies, Catcher in All of Her Lies.
All right.
I'll read that. Do you have your grandchildren frequently?
For virtual, yeah. My he likes to tell myself what to do and if he can come get the kids. I gotta go make sure they're not jumping. Madeline, is that you?
Now, who is this guy with
okay,
the mask?
Please stop jumping. Thank you. Do your test.
That is the Appleton Police Department that's investigating the abuse of my son in this foster home in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Officer Danikowski.
So, and he's already made up his mind. As everybody heard at the beginning of the thing. All right, let's continue.
Yeah, same guy.
Hey,
yeah.
Not only that, did you notice how you just conveniently now move the camera out of sight?
Yeah, they do a lot of distraction techniques.
I've seen that. I noticed that. All right, let's continue.
Okay, can you read? That was quick. Should I ready test?
Sorry, so Dylan, Isaiah, and
Adam.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So you have your grandchildren Monday through Friday, it sounds like? Okay. Yeah, so it sounds like Derek talked to you a little bit. So we received an allegation, obviously.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. So I want to be as routine as possible because it's only going to help the situation with whatever is going on down in Florida right now. I want to make sure that we pull all the stops here. So I want to talk to the kids alone, talk with you, and just be able to say, we did this right, and this is still the information that we're gathering.
Okay.
So I don't want to surprise you or anything like that. So and then I'll just want to see where he's sleeping, or where he does sleep, and he is here obviously, and then we'll just go from there.
I got 469.
Yes. Okay, now you need to go find something else to do. I have meetings.
I know.
I told you today.
I have other assignments.
Okay, good. Wednesdays are my busy days.
Oh, sure.
It's only homework day.
Oh yes,
So
I guess
try
it's
and schedule everything on Wednesdays.
So when did Dylan come and live here?
February
Start living
22nd. Of 19.
Okay. So since February 22nd, 2019, kind of walking through how it's been with him, what has it been like with these individuals who are, trying to do what they're doing, Dennis and Peggy. When did that all kind of start? Did it start right at the beginning?
Well, right at the beginning, and then we got the court order.
Okay.
Actually, I picked him up. I picked him up at Waukesha office. And then that's when they said, oh, by the way, he's got lizards. It's like, huh? I gotta bring lizards? Oh, okay. But no, he's a good kid. He paces a lot. And at first when he got here, we were the devil. And he's living in hell because somebody had told him that. So it took a lot of talking and counseling and to get him to think we are not the devil. Ava? This one gets pretty far.
So did he make comments moving here, saying so-and-so told me not to trust you, or?
Yeah, they said he had said that his parents told him never to trust anybody but them.
Okay.
And so that shouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
Why aren't you sleeping? Usually she sleeps so much. I'm gonna get you again. I'm gonna get my couch, so okay.
So then, it sounds like a court order. Was that the restraining order that you had, or what are you referring to when you say?
Yeah, the restraining order for Dennis and Joanne.
So when did you get that?
I have to get my file.
Okay.
Would that be on that paperwork that I gave you?
Yeah, it's on that paperwork there.
So give me a date stamped on that.
There is mine. I have it, I know I have it, because I showed the officer when I turned them in. It's got it. Hey.
But it was in 2019 that it happened? Okay. So was there a specific incident that happened that?
It's just because they are not bio parents.
Okay.
Did you catch that?
I did. She said they're not bio parents.
She took a restraining order out because we weren't bio parents.
Yep, I heard that.
That's not harming, abusing.
That's not a legitimate reason to do that.
And it's not a restraining order, it's an injunction that the judge, that they took out, not her.
Okay.
But they took it out claiming we were harassing our son.
Jeez. Wow. All right.
Are they like trying to show up here or?
No, I'm supposed to get undisclosed.
Okay.
So what happened at first, he was able to have like virtual visits with them, and then Joanne tricked him and said, "Oh, you go to school?" "Yeah, I go to school." "What school do you go to?" "Oh, Appleton North." "Hello, now it's just undisclosed." So then that's when they showed up at
I'm going to point out that Joanne was just being a mother, doing what a mother would do. You know,
I tricked him to telling me where he was going to school when she just admitted she took out a restraining order after he got there.
there you go,
We were having
folks.
virtual visits with him so they couldn't have an injunction on us at this point, right? So
Right.
why would I have to trick him into telling me? I am a part of his IEP. I have a right legally to be a part of his school. I
Right.
didn't have to trick anyone. She was not undisclosed because we at the time had visits with Dylan.
Okay.
They moved him and didn't tell us and cut us out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they do. I've seen this tactic a million times before with other cases too.
Well, you'll be
Right.
showing.
And she tells it later on. She tells it that the reason they took the junction is because we tried to go to the school and give them stuff.
Right. Okay. So we
But she
is there
just
some
said
good
they
is
took
there
it
some
out
relevant
because we
stuff
weren't
right here
his
up here, or
blood.
should we go a little bit forward?
You should go for it. I mean, because she tells many lies. Like they said that she took it out because we weren't blood. She'll tell you later that she took it out because we went to the school.
So should I stay where I'm at or go forward?
You can move forward to
Okay.
the boy right here to his interview.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. And that's the one when he puts the camera up. Okay, here we go. This one, right?
Yep.
And so I think, and then there's obviously down there where a lot of assessments. So I'm here, obviously there were allegations made about child abuse and neglect.
here in this home.
So I explained it on earlier that there's kind of a lot riding on this assessment as far as what the judge in Florida has been communicating about releasing Dylan to Wisconsin. He's pretty adamant about an investigation being done here by CPS. So I'm here to do that. I'm here to do it by the book so that they don't think we're cutting corners. I think there's a lot of pieces in this case, a lot of big players. And then there's obviously down there where nobody knows what's going on, and they're just taking word from.
Go ahead.
There's
Did
a lot
you
of
hear
big
that,
players.
Steve? A lot of pieces in this and a lot of big players.
She clearly said that Dylan, which is the teenager, she said that he was very serious about his allegations. He was very serious. And he was very adamant about it.
Okay.
And he didn't, so she was actually, I've
Let's
never
go
had
back.
anything
Let's go back and listen to it again real quick. I want to hear it again.
listening to his concerns.
Gotcha.
I explained it on earlier that there's kind of a lot riding on this assessment as far as what the judge in Florida has been communicating about releasing Dylan to Wisconsin. He's pretty adamant about an investigation being done here by CPS. So I'm here to do that.
Okay, so the judge is adamant about an investigation being done there by CPS. Okay, got it.
We did. When Dylan told the judge in Florida that he was being abused, the PO told me, because I wasn't able to be there, but the PO told me that the judge was very concerned about Dylan's allegations, and he told Wisconsin, no, you're not coming to get him.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
again, the same people he was crying abusing him are doing the investigation.
Okay, gotcha.
To do it by the book so that they don't think we're cutting corners. I think there's a lot of pieces in this case, a lot of big players. I think, and then there's obviously down.
A lot of big players. Oh, I heard that.
That's what we were talking about.
Wow.
That's how deep the corruption goes.
Wow. You're right though. Why would they say big players if there's nothing to see here, folks? That doesn't make any sense. You don't talk like that.
First time they say that either.
That's
A police officer
weird.
says that too.
Okay. Interesting. Let's continue.
There where nobody knows what's going on and they're just taking word from people. So just want to make sure that we're doing it all. So I'm talking with Dawn, I'm going to talk with the children, walk around the home and see it and just go from there. So Dawn is just giving me kind of the lowdown since when Dylan has been here. Have you been her case manager for a while or?
About a year and a half.
Okay.
And he's been here a year and a half. You were just coming aboard and that's when he thought we were the devil and
Yeah.
then we ended up putting him in Sammy's hold.
Yep.
Okay. How many times has Dylan been on a hold?
Once.
Once. Do you remember when that was, roughly?
When did you start? February, March. I want to say Marchish.
Okay. And what was happening that he was put on a hold?
Because he kept telling everybody that he's the devil and he sees spirits and correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, no.
And we just said, okay, this is kind of weird. He said he would go to his room and see spirits fighting and climbing the walls, and so we said, okay, something needs to be done.
Yeah.
So we put him in St. and Dr. Smith was in charge of him, and still is to this day.
Okay. Is that his prescribing doctor for medications?
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Smith, you said?
Yes.
And he's with St. Elizabeth's?
No, he's...
Yes, go ahead.
I wanted to say something when this thing that they're describing, and I cannot get it verified, obviously, because we can't get the records from CPS, but he had a similar experience where he was hearing voices for like 6 months.
Okay.
When our doctors that we had him going to see put him on a drug called Vyvanse for his ADHD. And
Oh yeah, no, they had my my fiance on that for a bit actually.
Yeah, he was hearing it, which was a side effect of the medication. He was hearing voices, but through the trauma,
They had to take him off it. Yeah. Now you notice he said that he was calling her the devil, and then she turned around and said that he was the devil.
I seen that. I caught that. Yeah, interesting. A little bit of wordplay there.
Yeah,
Huh?
it made us wonder if they put him back on ADHD
Right.
medication, and it might have been happening again, or the trauma, like you had said.
Dennis, it was the trauma. She is the damn devil. He was calling it like he's seen it.
Right. Go ahead.
All right. Are we ready to do we have any, are we going to continue or do we want to go to that next one? We got more here, right?
Yeah, I want you to hear the interview of the child, the boy sitting next to her.
Gotcha.
I want the people to hear that.
So he works at St. A's, but he's Catalpa.
Okay.
So.
And he was saying too, he could telepathically talk to his mom.
I forgot that
too.
part.
Joanne.
So yeah, he was with a counselor. Gosh, no, I can't remember her name. But then she referred us to a different counselor that does more trauma.
Okay. So who is his counselor now?
Amy Gunderson.
Amy Gunderson?
Mm-hmm.
And who is she through Catalpa?
Yep.
Okay. And how often does he see her?
Well, he was seeing her every other week. And now, since this incident, she saw it on Facebook and called me, so we bumped it to every week.
Okay.
So I have to call and cancel for this Friday.
So when he returns, it'll be every week?
Yep, we scheduled for every week so far. Like she said, we were hoping that this day would never come.
Right.
But now we have a lot of work ahead of us.
Yeah. Well, and he just turned 17, it sounds like, back in July. Okay, that sounds good. So I guess, Dawn, if you want to step out for now, I can talk to you a little bit, and then I'll talk with Adam and Isaiah.
And keep your headphones on, turn them up.
Yeah.
Ever see that movie? Headphones. I'll go mess.
How frequently
I come every other week, so this would be my week to visit too. I don't know if that helps. Like when I come in, last time I came.
Yeah. So twice a month, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then has it been in person throughout the whole time, even with COVID, or did it stop for a little bit?
I think in like the beginning it was a little bit of like the via like FaceTime, but at majority of the time it's been in person.
Okay.
And I have daily contact with Dawn too.
Okay.
I do have a question. Did this occur on the 14th, or was this like actually closer to the 10th?
They said, have you noticed? They said they were interviewing me at NCISS on the 13th before they even found Dylan. And the next day, they were all of a sudden doing an investigation for the judge in Florida when they haven't even apprehended him yet.
Interesting. Well, that's what I'm saying, because this body cam footage says it's 10/14/2020.
Yep,
So-
and then the footage from the NCIS
it says
investigation
13.
says 10/13.
Yeah, exactly.
They hadn't even found Dylan at that point yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say, touch on one more
No,
base on that
it's-
video where
no,
she
it's
said,
4
Dylan,
Hold-
where she,
Go ahead, Peggy, and then Dennis. Go ahead after her. Peggy.
I just wanted to refer to something on the video. Notice where she said that Dylan told her that his parents said, don't trust anybody. Don't all parents tell their children that? I mean,
Right. Never talk to strangers,
she
right?
told him that
Don't talk to
wasn't right,
strangers.
Dylan.
Stranger
Stranger
danger.
danger. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Especially-
craziness.
Especially with autistic people.
Right.
With any child.
Yes.
All you parents tell your children not to talk to strangers. Don't trust nobody but your parents. Doesn't every good parent do that? I mean, come on.
Right. Absolutely. All right. Let's are we ready to continue?
Yes.
Yes.
And then, do you talk with the kids when you're here at all? Okay. So how have those conversations been with Dylan? Ever any concerns that he expresses?
Usually it's talks about his lizards, and then just how it's doing in the home. Sometimes he'll make comments about afraid that his parents will come get him and hurt people along the way to get him.
Okay. Do you ever ask him why he says that or why he's afraid of that?
He just says that, and I never really asked him, but he just like says that like on repeat, and I think he was told it once before, or like his past, like he's maybe afraid they would hurt to come get him.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Okay. So he says he's afraid his parents will come and hurt people. His parents will come and get him and hurt people along the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let me give you a call back. I'm just with CPS. All right, bye.
More recently, has he ever talked about allegations of Dawn or Todd or any of the kids in the home?
Okay. I asked how it was going with his roommate Isaiah, and he said great. He had no concerns. No concerns living here either. He always enjoys it here. It's fun. He laughs. Yeah, no concerns with that.
Has he ever mentioned like fights with foster siblings or anything like that?
I think it's just like the typical like arguments like over video games or just like typical siblings.
Yeah. Has Dennis or Joanne ever reached out to you or your agency?
No.
Okay. So as far as Dylan, I guess you both could answer this. As far as Dylan goes, does he communicate pretty well? Do you have concerns with his ability to communicate or anything like that?
No, because I think he trusts the Davies enough that he would talk to them if anything. He's capable of communicating.
Okay. Has Dawn ever expressed concerns
Yeah, we should show those too, Crystal. We will in a minute.
with Dylan or behaviors or
Or maybe next show.
triggers or anything like that?
we're running close to, we've got 5 minutes till we're at 2 hours. I do want to get into the other footage too after we get done with this interview
If
portion.
you want, you can fast forward to the interview with the little boy, and that's
How-
all I
all right.
want. That's all that's really left in this.
Okay,
clip.
so tell me where it is. I was thinking it was the same one we
It's
played
the
before. But,
next interview.
okay,
after
gotcha.
This woman. Yeah.
Okay. Do they move the camera at all?
I think he does. Not before the interview starts, though.
Okay, so we need to go back over it.
Anything that you don't like about him?
Forward.
This is it.
This is it?
Yeah. She's talking to Adam.
It's freezing up on me. What the heck? Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Uh-oh, Facebook.
Hold on, you guys. What the heck? Oh, shit. Hold on. Oh, there we go.
Has Dawn ever expressed
About that, yeah.
Okay.
And then Davey's always said, like,
Oh, wait, hold on.
just go to.
There we go.
Trust issue, so
Okay.
pace
Yeah.
sometimes,
After
but
this?
like
Okay.
long time
Okay. What's a long time mean?
until they can
Okay, so right about there. Okay, got
He
it.
gets in.
smells.
Okay.
Just like all of the yes. You freak my other dogs out.
Right about here.
She's right here.
Okay, if she continues, just give it one push. Not a long one, just a short one.
Yeah, a long one. Yay.
So you've been here for almost 2 years. So do you have your own bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Right
What
now.
is that like? Right now
it's
you do?
quiet.
Yeah. Did you typically share a room?
Yes.
Okay. So just when somebody comes is when you share a room? Okay. How long have you had your own room?
Oh, great. Not a couple months. Oh, that's kind of past July. I know that.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, so it's been a couple months. Do you prefer having your own room or do you like sharing with someone?
It depends on the person.
Yeah, that makes sense. So tell me, what do you like about Dawn?
They're caring.
They're caring?
They're nice, of course.
Yeah.
Just like all of the good stuff.
Yeah.
No bad.
No bad? So there's nothing that you don't like
Sounds
about
like he was
having Dawn?
touched, if you ask me.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Dylan? What do you like about Dylan?
Dylan, huh? He's funny sometimes.
Yeah. What don't you like about Dylan?
He's annoying.
Yeah. Tell me
Just the
more.
pace
Yeah.
sometimes, but like other like dumb stuff, like he likes different stuff than us.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay. What do you like about Isaiah?
He's fun to hang around with. He's creative.
Okay. Anything that you don't like about him?
He smells.
He smells?
Yes, that's all I have to say.
Okay. So when somebody gets in trouble here, what happens?
It depends on what you did.
Okay, so give me examples.
Like, let's say like Dylan's situation that once he's left and walked away, not told anybody, he will be not being able to go anywhere for a long time.
Okay. What's a long time mean?
Until they can trust him.
Okay.
It's a trust thing. They have a trust issue, so.
Sure.
Oh wow! So they were keeping him locked up. They
So if you
couldn't
leave
go
him
nowhere. He admitted there you folks have it, folks. They were keeping him locked up. They couldn't where he couldn't go
And
nowhere.
they
They just admitted to
remember-
it.
And remember, they said that there was no issues going on with any, but Dylan is annoying. The Don and Todd Davies, the foster parents, agree with that. They find Dylan annoying. They're always on him, pacing. The
Did you
pacing
hear
of
him say the word we?
Yep.
Not just him, we.
Wow.
Sometimes you gotta look at.
How much, is there any more of his interview we need to cover on this, or is it?
Yeah, he said.
All right, we're gonna continue then real quick, and then we're gonna segue into the last footage where he says fake parents, that footage real quick.
Okay.
And then we'll wrap it up, and then I think we'll show the screenshots that he sent you guys when he's crying out for help on the next one when we do the analysis. Okay.
Tell anyone, or don't call when you're supposed to be home. Then you lose trust and you don't get to go anywhere for a little bit.
And if you like lie and stuff about where you're going,
Okay.
like what you did.
Okay. What happens if somebody gets in a fight?
Great. I really haven't had that yet.
You haven't had that yet?
No.
Okay.
I think it usually depends if it's like at school with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
then and how much trouble you get in with the cops and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah.
So, okay, what about if you and Isaiah were arguing? What happens?
Oh, there was probably Todd would probably tell us to be quiet. Because literally when we argue about stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like, we haven't argued yet.
Okay.
But Dylan,
Anyone
it's
else
just about
notice that
like, the
kid's
TV
nose?
and stuff
That,
about what
that
he
thing,
watches.
what looks like a spot on his
Because
nose?
it's stupid. All he watches is animals.
You guys see that? Looks like a cut or something.
Yeah.
What does that tell you,
Zoom
folks?
in.
Oh, I can actually do that. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. Let me go to
The
tools,
other kid
effects and filters, video effects, zoom. Here we go.
It's interesting sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, do you see that, you guys? Right there?
Yep.
Okay, it looks like a cut.
someone try-
It looks like a cut or something, a scab.
It almost looks like they tried to break his nose.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's an indent.
Look at that.
Oh.
Look at
Oh,
that.
wow.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's what I want to point out, folks. You know, so this kid's probably getting abused too.
Take
We
a
don't
picture
know.
of that.
Oh, it's on the live. Everybody can screenshot it if they want when they pause it.
Listen, now go on to listen to what he said the foster parent said about my son.
Okay.
Does Dylan get in trouble a lot here?
I can't say a lot, but he annoys them. I can see that. He annoys them. He
How
annoys
do you-
Todd.
How do you see that? Give me an example. How
So,
does
like,
Todd react?
So like, he paces in here,
Mhm.
and he usually says, like, go in the other room.
Mm-hmm.
But then he, like, comes back in here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he doesn't care about anybody else except his lizards.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to do what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying what Todd said. Like, he wants to do what he wants to do. He doesn't care about anybody else except himself and his lizards.
Todd has said that to you?
Yes. And I agree, yes.
Okay. So when Dylan gets in trouble, let's say besides the walking around thing, what else does he get in trouble for?
He gets in trouble for pacing. Are you serious?
Not really.
That's all. He's autistic. He can't help it. You can't tell kid that's autistic he can't pace. That's bullshit. It's part of their condition. That's
Is there
bullshit.
anything else that Todd has said about Dylan?
That's abuse, folks.
He's a good kid, but just sometimes he's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Alright, come here.
Do you have any concerns here?
Nope.
No.
I'm all good.
You're all good?
Oh, it's even.
Yeah, the rest of it's
Who does
really
Dylan share a room with? Isaiah. And then who?
Say what?
Isaiah, the other kid. He had only been there a couple months before Dylan left, so. But I just think it's really disheartening that the foster parent would say these things to the other children about my son. That's abuse. You know, it's obvious that the foster parent tortured my son with his pacing. It's obvious that they called him stupid of his ideas because he liked different things than they did. That's crazy.
Annoying.
You know.
Now, how did you guys obtain all these interviews at the foster home?
Because the public has the right to them. I have a right to them. They're part of discovery in my criminal case.
Are we? Is there more on his interview, or are we going to go to? Or are we going to ready to go to the pretend parent one clip?
No, we're done with this.
All right, I'm going to put up the pretend parent one then real quick.
I just wanted to tell the audience quick that
go ahead.
That pacing is a coping mechanism for severe trauma with autistic individuals.
It is.
Everybody knows that, right?
It was in March is when they had driven to the house and kid tried to get him to come into the car or to speak with him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he said it looked like just his mom, and she was wearing a baseball cap.
Okay. Well, I will definitely give them a call and see if they know anything or go from there. But if you get any... Oh, go ahead.
His fake parents?
His what?
You mean his fake parents? Give them a call?
What the hell is a
There you
fake
have it,
parent?
folks.
That's what I would like to know.
There you have it,
people.
folks. Me too.
I would love to know that, because parenting is not fake. If you parent your child, you parent him. It was not fake when taking him to the doctor. It was not fake taking care of him when he was sick. It was not fake all those years I loved him. Those were not fake. What is a fake parent?
You guys spent all those years giving him a home and the place the care he needed.
Obviously,
and they ripped him away from you guys.
With all these other children, and they share with my son. This is horrible that these people are traumatizing these children like
It
this.
is. It is. It's wrong. It's freaking wrong,
It is
man.
so wrong. This woman said my son I put a gun to his dad's head, and this woman told my son that I lost my battle. People,
You could always, that's defamation. That's defamation right there. That's bull. That's defamation right there. What she's doing to you. All right. So next we'll get into next show we'll get into some more analysis of body cam footage and then everything else. We're gonna wrap it up, you guys. Thank you everybody for joining me. We'll be back soon in a couple days. We're gonna do another follow-up, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
So much more to show, people. Stay tuned. We're showing it all. We've got nothing to lose. They've took everything. We've got nothing to lose.
Thank you, everybody, and we're gonna keep following you up, our audience, with you guys.